Back live here at Pinnacle FC12. Jake Digman's going to bring out our first
Following
fighter.
contest is a professional bout in the Pinnacle FC featherweight division, and it is brought to you by the Southpaw Bar. Introducing first, making his way down the aisle into the blue corner, please welcome Charlie Gathers.
Moving on to professional action here at Pinnacle FC12. Making his way to the cage is Charlie Gathers. Jesse, this is a really intriguing matchup. A guy with 16 professional fights taking on a guy in Chris Mitchell, just 1-0 in his pro career.
Yeah, Charlie Gathers, I tell everybody, is a bad fight. See, Charlie Gathers is just one of those guys who is just coming to take everybody's head off. He walks out to the Halloween theme music for a reason. It's because he's the living, breathing version of Michael Myers in the MMA world, at least here in this Pittsburgh regional circuit.
And this guy comes from Central Pennsylvania, from the mountains of Central Pennsylvania, and always puts on a show. 2-0 here under the Pinnacle FC banner. So interesting to note that when he comes to Pittsburgh, he really sees this as his Super Bowl, as his WrestleMania, and takes it very, very seriously.
And, you know, as a jiu-jitsu guy, I always get fired up when somebody walks out in a gi. And he comes out in that gi, and he's always fired up. One thing about Charlie Gathers that I think a lot of people need to know is he always comes in here on Thanksgiving Eve, no coaches, no corner. He lets those people stay home with their family for the holidays, and he just comes in to scrap. That's not the kind of guy you want looking across from you at the other end of the cage.
Right, representing Dignam, Brumball, MMA, Charlie the Madman Gathers, and as we mentioned last year, came to Pittsburgh, took on Bill Hutchinson, and nobody in the world gave him a chance in that fight, and Charlie said, you know what, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to let him punch me straight in the face, I'm going to take him down, and I'm going to beat him, I'm going to tap him out.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, too, because there was a little bit of banter going on social media-wise where Chris Mitchell said that he's calling for a knockout.
Yeah, Charlie obviously did not take too kindly to an opponent saying that he was going to get knocked out.
No, and like you said, he went in here last year against a professional boxer, Bill Hutchinson, and just fought like a madman. That's how he got the nickname, took those punches on the chin, and ended up getting a finish with a submission win.
Right, and Charlie Gathers said he worked extensively with Ethan Goss, who you'll see in his corner here, the guy who looks like Wolverine in the background, but he said he worked extensively with Ethan Goss, who he said is the best southpaw fighter in his area in Central Pennsylvania. So Chris Mitchell, the southpaw, really good boxer. So it'll be interesting to see how Charlie deals with that southpaw stance of Chris Mitchell.
And he's an interesting choice for Chris Mitchell to want to come in here for his second professional fight, because like I said, Charlie Gathers, he's just somebody that can ruin dreams for somebody with that young career. I mean, I'm not saying that Charlie Gathers is a bad loss by any means, but, you know, if you're going to come in against somebody, it's a big step up for your second professional fight.
Charlie's kind of turned the corner here, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, and he is starting to make a name for himself here in PA, and Jake Digman's going to bring out his opponent.
And his opponent, making his way down the aisle into the red corner, please welcome Chris Humes Mitchell.
And Ethan Goss gives me a middle finger here, and I'm not going to give him too many kind words. I don't like Ethan Goss anymore. But anyway, Chris Mitchell comes out here, 1-0 pro fighter, and Jesse, it seems like every single year there's a guy who kind of is a breakout star on the Pinnacle FC scene, and this year I think this is my pick for the guy who has really broken out on the Pinnacle FC stage here in 2015.
Yeah, Chris Mitchell, he's definitely got great hands. I mean, you touched on it. He's got some fun stand-up, and he was one of my favorite amateur fighters to watch. And then when he made his pro debut, I was more than excited for it. So this fight has a lot of emotional impact for me as we take a look here at the tail of the tape. Coming right out of the bat, you know I like to play it to the ages. Charlie Gathers, 37, a big senior here on Chris Humes Mitchell. And like I said, I feel that the youth and vigor may play a big part in it, but you never know with Charlie Gathers. He's a wild card.
Also, you see the 16 pro fights there of Charlie Gathers, but Chris Mitchell did an interview with James Lynch and said, man, I've been fighting all my life coming from the mean streets of Philadelphia. So this is a really, really great matchup, and one of those fights that everybody has been excited for, maybe even more excited for a lot of people on the national MMA scene than some of the other pro fights that we have later on in the card.
It's going to be a real treat. I mean, if you don't know already, buckle up, strap it on. Don't worry about getting another drink. Don't worry about filling up your snacks. Just sit down and enjoy it. You can wait it out because this fight it may be the main event for me in my heart coming in to watch this fight. I mean, obviously we've got a great lineup, but this one is high up there for me.
We do want to say thank you to all those out there watching the live stream, whether you're watching on standthemup.org or bluegrassmma.com. Thank you for tuning in here to Pinnacle FC12. We have 4 more professional bouts. We have this fight and then 3 others on a great night. Thanksgiving Eve here in Pittsburgh. It's become a tradition, and it's one that I don't think is going to stop anytime soon because this is a packed house here tonight at Siri Shriner Center.
Yeah, I believe we talked to, we'll go with the introduction.
Following contest is a professional bout in the Pinnacle FC featherweight division, and it is brought to you by the Southpaw Bar. Introducing first in the Rehab Center blue corner. He fights out of Altoona, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 139 1/2 pounds. Representing Dignan Bumbraw MMA and Dignan Brothers BJJ with a professional record, 9 wins, 7 losses. Please welcome the Madman, Charlie Gathers! And his opponent in the Southpaw red corner, he fights out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 143 pounds, representing Fight Club Pittsburgh and the Academy with a professional record, 1 win, 0 losses. Please welcome No Brotherly Love, Chris Hughes Mitchell! This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, and when the action begins, your referee is Mr. Chip Snyder.
All right, Jesse, here we go. Charlie the Madman Gathers in the camo, Philly Chris Mitchell in the blue and yellow. Chip Snyder is your referee for this professional featherweight bout here.
Well, they both signaled to each other that they're willing to touch gloves, which is a nice sign of respect for as much the trash talk that we've seen on social media this week. So
lots of respect here. As you see, Chris Mitchell already cutting off the cage for Charlie Gathers as he looks to put him in the corner, and that's where he will start to tee off here. Nice body kick there, just glancing blow from Charlie Gathers. Inside leg kick. Oh, and Mitchell, that's an injury. He looks like he may have dislocated. Oh, I thought that he might have dislocated something because he looked like he was limping there, but he got kicked in the cup.
Yeah, right in the pills. It was kind of hard to tell from our angle. Yeah, like you said, it did look like something kind of went wrong, and clearly something did. We see Chris Hughes Mitchell there taking.
He'll get 5 minutes to recover here as Chip Snyder stops the action here early on in the first round, and thankfully it wasn't an injury because that would be a really, really bad ending to a fight that a lot of people are excited for here at Pinnacle FC12.
Yeah, we definitely took a lot of the air out of the balloon on that one, but hopefully Chris Hughes Mitchell is going to be able to continue here. Didn't look like it was going to be too bad of a shot because, like you mentioned, it looked like maybe something else got injured, but clearly it was a
yeah,
a shot
the way
to the
that
cup.
he went down, it looked like he might have injured that right leg, and
we'll take another look at it here. You can see that inside kick.
Right to the cup, yeah, and Mitchell immediately goes down. He's going to get time to recover here. Chip Snyder talking to him, and Mitchell shaking things off. Looks like we're going to be able to continue here very shortly.
Well, it wouldn't be an MMA fight without a shot to the cup, I don't think.
Gathers, of course, did not do that on purpose and apologizing across the cage to Philly Chris. Looks like we're ready to go here. Chip Snyder going to get us back underway in this professional featherweight bout. They touch gloves again, no ill will. And you'll see that a lot when one guy is a southpaw and one guy is the orthodox. That inside leg kick, that's an easy kick to throw. And
Gathers working for the clinch.
yeah, this is exactly where he wants this fight to be. He is a dirty, gritty fighter. He wants to get on the inside here against Philly Chris. And Chris needs to be able to release off of this and work his striking.
Yeah, he's really trapping that right hand of Chris Mitchell under his arm there. You can see Gathers always saying that he's a big fan of jits and hits. So it really doesn't matter where the fight goes. He's real comfortable with it, but clearly he's looking to keep it standing.
Right, good head position here by Charlie Gathers. Looking to drive that forehead into the chin of Chris Mitchell. Has him up against the cage here.
You got it.
Not necessarily looking for a shot here early on, just maybe looking to make things dirty. Another knee to the body, a couple of knees to the body there from Charlie Gathers as he grabs that full tie plum, and Mitchell looking to block those knees, which means he probably didn't like the first few that landed.
And those are definitely going to take their toll, and a lot of that cage pressure, too, takes so much out of you. A lot of people don't realize how much work goes into just holding somebody's body weight up against you like that.
And one of the things that people underestimate really is Charlie Gather's stamina and the fact that not a lot of his fights go to a decision, but he really always keeps moving forward, and he's a tough fighter to fight because he will keep that pressure on for the entire 15 minutes if need be.
Yeah, he's really a walking nightmare. I mean, I don't know if the guy has a whole lot of flaws in his game, but definitely stamina is not one of them.
You see Mitchell grabbing that whizzer on Charlie Gather's right arm to try to keep from getting taken down here, as it looks like Gathers was briefly trying to look to change levels. Unable to do that here against Philly Chris. Chris needs to get his back off of the cage here, but Gathers doing a good job staying inside and really putting the fight on the cage, which is where he wants it. Now, was looking for that to grab that single leg. Now looking for the ankle pick. As maybe just Gathers giving Mitchell some things to think about here midway through the first round.
Well, he's definitely taken away any of Mitchell's offense to be able to generate. He's kept that right arm of his just trapped under that elbow most of the round anyway.
Now a couple of knees from Mitchell as he turns off of the cage against Charlie Gathers. We have a catchweight bout here at 140 pounds, as Mitchell said he's on his way down to 135. Eventually bantamweight is where he thinks he'll be. And a very, at least from body frame-wise, seems to be, both of these guys really do seem to be bantamweights, and it's an even matchup in terms of body frame size, as Mitchell now has the head positioned up against the cage looking for knees.
Right, you can see Gathers
short little elbow there from Mitchell. Nice job by him.
Head pressure. Get that head control.
And something I just noted, Gathers, the mouth of Gathers is actually open, which a lot of times is a sign of fatigue. Now Mitchell with a body lock here, looking for a takedown of his own. He says if Gathers is going to try to do that, then maybe I'm going to put it there if I'm not going to be able to. I'd rather be on top than be on my back.
Good.
Gathers working really well up here against the cage, being able to reverse positions every time Mitchell tries to take the advantage, put his back against the cage. Gathers able to turn it around. Now we see him unload here.
Yeah, briefly released there as Gathers did throw a couple shots, and Mitchell now with the body lock. Just over 1 minute left here in the first round of this featherweight action, as Mitchell looking for the takedown, looking to elevate there. Like to see him switch down for that high crotch takedown. Looks like it might be open here as Mitchell drives his shoulder into the chest of Charlie Gathers. Mitchell, of course, working extensively on his wrestling with Sylvester Turkai at Fight Club Pittsburgh. Takedown from Chris Mitchell as he's now right in front of us.
Elbow chuck.
Mitchell now looking to posture up here in Charlie Gathers' guard as it is open. Throws a right hand that lands clean there as Gathers looking for the sweep. Big shots here from Chris Mitchell on the top.
10 seconds.
Gathers looking to sweep here. Just 20 seconds left to go in this first round. Charlie looking to grab the arm of Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, a little difficult to figure out what
nothing doing here as he has the arm trapped, but really no submissions he can get from this position.
Feel like maybe he just wants to get him tied up to get out of the round.
Maybe a heel hook or something. Eats a couple more shots as the round ends. And Mitchell helps him up.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a tough one to score. I mean, it seemed like Charlie Gathers controlled a lot of the round, but man, when Mitchell got a chance to open it up, he really scored some points and maybe even stole around there at the end.
On my scorecard, I think that Mitchell might have stolen it with that takedown.
Yeah.
And the nice ground and pound there at the end of the round. It was very even leading up to that at least, but I think he turned the tide.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if it scored for Gathers, though. But
here is some of that ground and pound as we take a look at the replay. Gathers taking shots right to the face as he doesn't let go. He doesn't block his face as he lets go of that leg there.
Yeah, and that's one of those chances that you take with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stance, or basically working out of that bottom guard with the open guard. You open yourself up to those sorts of shots, but like we said, there wasn't a real clear submission going on there, so it was a real calculated risk that I'm not sure paid off.
Just a short break, 60 seconds here in between these 5-minute rounds for the pros. We move on to round 2 here at Pinnacle FC12. Charlie Gathers and Chris Mitchell in a featherweight bout. Another show of respect here between these two fighters, and straight left hand there from Mitchell lands. Little right hook also. as he's looking to work his striking here in this second round. Staying on the outside, you see a little bit more of. As Gathers comes forward, looking for that clinch. Looking to shoot the takedown. Mitchell stuffs it. Now looking to take Gathers back as he lands a couple of shots. Knees to the head there of Charlie Gathers, and Mitchell turning it on.
Yeah, Mitchell looking very impressive here, but Gathers is battling back.
We see some blood, and Gathers is a guy who is very, very tough to finish, as he ate a lot of big shots there from Chris Mitchell. Still under a minute into this second round. Another takedown, but
it looks like it could be under there.
Yeah, Gathers has control of his neck. 8 of his 9 wins are via submission, all via choke. So you know that Gathers loves to grab that neck. Mitchell now back to his feet, looking to try to get that double leg takedown as Gathers still has control of his neck. Looking to finish this 10-finger guillotine, but Mitchell has his left hand under the grasp of Charlie Gathers. Gathers looking to push those
it's looking
hips
good.
in.
He needs to get that elbow up over his back. He needs to put more pressure on Mitchell's back here so he's not able to get that posture up. A lot of guys like to do that with their chest, to put the chest pressure down over top of their shoulders and really try to crunch in. You want to try to imagine you're doing like a fitness crunch over top of them to finish the
Gathers
guillotine.
still looking for this 10-finger guillotine here as Mitchell makes his way back to his feet. Mitchell now out and has Gathers back. He throws one right hand up against the cage. Some elbows now from Mitchell.
Nice
and a
knees.
big knee,
Nice
another
knees.
big knee.
Gathers just refuses to go down.
You see the big, deep breath there from Charlie Gathers as he looks towards his corner for direction of what to do.
Pressure down the back of his head. Press his head.
Mitchell now sucks off the hips again and gets the takedown. In Charlie Gathers. Thought he was in half guard, but it looks like Gathers has full guard here on his back.
Yeah, he needs to lock up this guard and really compromise Mitchell's pressure.
Nice
Or
elbows.
posture.
A couple of elbows now on the top from Chris Mitchell as he looks to slice Charlie Gathers open.
Yeah, Gathers not really generating a lot of offense here from this guard position. I don't know if I would stick with it because Mitchell just keeps landing bombs from the top.
This is where you've seen the game, the evolution of the game of Chris Mitchell, a guy who early on in his amateur career really just wanted to stand and bang, and if the fight got to the ground, then he would not really know what to do. But now you see him on top, posturing up and throwing some big slicing elbows to Charlie Gathers.
Mitchell's not too shy on the microphone either. He's quick to let everybody know that he feels that he's the best fighter in this area. And, you know, that sort of confidence can carry you a long way, especially in these deep, dirty fights with people like Charlie Gathers.
Gathers now has a control of that left arm of Chris Mitchell. Look, and Mitchell does a good job of sliding up and defending that. It looked like he had a Kimura attempt there.
Take it.
Mitchell now again with Charlie Gathers back as Gathers has control of that left arm. Gathers looking to turn into Mitchell here. Oh, a brief little cage grab there from Charlie Gathers, and he got away with it. Knee dropped Charlie Gathers. Those knees are doing a lot of damage up against the cage here. Just over a minute to go here in round number 2. And Gathers eats another knee.
How many can he take? I tell you what, this fight is coming as advertised.
This might be over as Gathers out on his feet and a head kick knockout. Wow, what a finish by Chris Mitchell. That's going to put him on the national scene, finishing a tough guy like Charlie Gathers in devastating fashion.
Boy, once Chris Mitchell switched it on and decided to just unload on Gathers, he didn't stop. There was a transition there at the end of that first round where Mitchell really turned it on. Like we mentioned, may have stolen that round, and that momentum carried over here into the second as we take a look here at the finish.
Those knees are what did the damage. Really, as we saw, Charlie Gathers, the only thing holding him up here is the cage. Uppercut blasts him. Mitchell, you see, stalking and lands that head kick. Holly Holm-esque.
I mean, just really beautiful work here. You can tell Mitchell's really been putting in the work at the gym. I mean, leading up to tonight, he's always been a great fighter, but, you know, I think we mentioned earlier that taking on Charlie Gathers is going to be a big step in his professional career, and certainly he knew that he was ready for that. I was maybe slightly skeptical. I mentioned that Charlie Gathers is a bad fight, but hey,
Charlie Gathers is a tough guy no matter what. He took a lot of punishment, a lot of big knees, and Chris Mitchell just kept coming forward and delivering punishment. And that is a guy that, like I said, breakout star of 2015 here for Pinnacle FC.
Yeah, without a doubt. Chris Mitchell's been a name on everybody's radar since he started showing up. Whenever he made that transition from Philadelphia to come out here to Pittsburgh to fight at Pittsburgh Fight Club, he's just been a tremendous star, great person to talk to, a fun personality, and I'm sure we'll hear all about that when he gets on the mic with Dave Click here momentarily as we take a look at Charlie Gathers. Still writhing over there in a little bit of pain. We're going to take a look at that finish again.
Another look. There's the knee. And Jesse, you saw that uppercut really did a lot of damage. Yeah. Chip Snyder in great position there to stop the fight once Charlie Gathers landed that head kick, or Chris Mitchell landed the head kick. And you saw Chris Mitchell knew it was over, walked off, not throwing any more shots. Great performance here by Philly Chris, moving up to 2-0. Jake Digman is going to give us our official result.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Chip Snyder calls a stop to the action at 3 minutes and 54 seconds of the second round, declaring your winner by knockout, Chris No Brotherly Love Hughes Mitchell!
All right, I'm here with Chris No Brotherly Love Hughes Mitchell from Fight Club Pittsburgh. You were dishing out some vicious knees. He took them for a while until he could not take any more, and you finished it off with that left kick. How do you feel, man?
Man, I can't even put into words how I feel right now. Charlie Gathers, shout out to Charlie Gathers. This is a tough dude. A lot of people ain't had me winning this fight because he has way more experience. When I first came out, I was going to try to keep my distance. I thought he was going to bum rush me, but he didn't, so I had to switch it up. And he wanted to play against the cage and try to out-wrestle me and hurt me. Ain't nobody in here out-wrestling me and hurting me, so I wanted to beat him at his old game. I felt him getting tired towards the end of the first round, so I figured we'd come out, do it again, and eventually he'll tire out. And them knees, man, he was eating some knees. He got a good chin. Then the kick was there. I seen him fall down to his right. So I threw it, it landed, he was out. So that's it, man. I'm trying to, move up in the rankings. So I want to give a shout out to Fight Club Pittsburgh, AK, the Academy. Shout out to all my teammates, Justin Patton. If it wasn't for those guys coming to pick me up from my house in the bus stop, I wouldn't be fighting here today. Give out to the new fighter we got at the Academy, John De Jesus. Hey, that's like my brother there. I've been sparring with him, working with him every day. He's the only guy I've really been going to the gym with, and he's a lefty, so shout out to him, and shout out to Pinnacle for letting me fight. So yeah, look out for me. I told y'all I'm the best fighter on this card. Hands down, can't nobody touch me.
Well, that's definitely the type of fight the fans like to see, and us at Pinnacle like to see for sure. So thank you for that, Chris. No Brotherly Love, Hughes Mitchell. Congratulations.